Hello, welcome back. Very short messages this turn. Didn't even have a battle anywhere. But we did some spells. We did Soul Trap, got a Ghost, summoned another Angry Etherlord, teleported my god to Kurgnir, found the Major Spring, lots of new stuff to look at. Still Black Deathing Zoko, and then just some random gold and gem events. So very small ones. Bits of gold and bits of gems. Bit of province income. Nothing too crazy. And that is it for messages, other than Bonelands is now cracked open. So big thing this turn is just doing prep for Bonelands getting stormed. Since I assume it's going to get stormed immediately, since I assume Zetapek thinks he can do the Fountain of Lightning thing again, but we are prepared for that. But I'll go over the script in a minute. Other than that though, usual stuff. Ramming stuff into Stone Heavens, ramming stuff into Lost Lands, forging lots of fire rings, gear out this army, and the water rallies that beached in Soaked Earth have moved away. So the guys I moved to Edril to defend there are just going to move to Soaked Earth now. Nothing changed, same script and everything. Same plan as just to kill the commanders with Mind Burns. And I think that's basically it, other than scripting for Bonelands. I am also teleporting my god into Bonelands as well. Still Black Deathing Zoko. Yeah, I think I just need to look at the script in Bonelands. And this is a big one. So this is a lot of preparation. Because, let's refresh your memory. So the spell we have to deal with is Improved Fountain of Lightning. This is very difficult to deal with because it has a 62% cast time, so it's going to go up right away. Unless his mages need to communion themselves, or choose to communion themselves to scale the damage. But if he chooses to just cast it with his casters, it's only an A3 spell. They can drop that before turn 1 is over. So that's tricky to deal with, especially for us. A big problem that we have is that there's no easy way to get shock resistance on our communion slaves, these guys. I don't have nearly enough spools to give around, give them all shock res. And we're limited by what we can do with... So our air mages can cast Listener Upon the Wind, I think it is? Yeah. This is 50% cast time and gets them into a communion. But then if they want to do shock resistance on themselves, the only one we've got requires 200% cast time. So there's no way we're going to propagate that through the communion before all the fountains drop on us. So that's out of the question. So instead, all the communion slaves are up in this corner like this, all in a block. That's usually bad, because we don't want to be all in a block versus that spell. But the Air Mages are right next to them, or a few of them are. And they've all been given Air Gems, and they're going to spam this Masterful Protection from Shock spell. Usually we can't cast this because it's A3. This one. But since we're A2, we can cast A3 spells with a gem. And this is AoE 4 shock resistance with a 10% cast time. So we can cast this 5 times before the first fountains drop. So the plan is to just set our communion slaves up here with the Windmasters, and they're just going to spray shock resistance over them all before the fountains come down. So that's the first part of prep in the script. Second part of prep in the script is all my mages are spaced out and they've all got storm spells. So everyone, my prophet here also has the Scutata Volturna, so he has 20 shock resist. Everybody else has 15 shock resist from the storm spell. So I don't think the Fountain of Lightning will even target us. If it does, it's certainly not going to do much damage to us, if anything. Every single one of these mages has at least 15 shock resist. So these guys are all down here. We then have a couple of additional mages who can do some more shock resistant spells. So this Major Spring we just summoned. I should look at all the summons as well. But this one we just summoned is going to do Masterful Protection from Shocks. Same spell, 10% cast time on some units over here. He's then going to summon a Simargle, only because it's 50% cast time. And I need to wait for my communion slaves to go into the communion, which has a 200% cast time. So he's going to do this twice, then Simargle, and then he does Listener of the Wind to go into communion, 50% cast time. And at that point, he should just about have communion slaves, so he can cast Thunderfend. And Thunderfend is 5 shock resist for the entire battlefield. So it's going to be a long time before we hit this point, but it is more shock resist on our army. We also have a couple of guys who are Earth Mages, including the Ghost we just summoned. So let's see if I can find him. Plaguestorm here. So this is the Ghost we pulled out of that spell. He's E3, which is pretty cool. And I've given out our 2 pairs of Earth Boots to 2 more of our Middle Mages, which gets them up to Earth 2. Those guys are all just spamming Lightning Warding. So this is a 25% cast time, only AoE 1, but it's 15 shock res. So those guys are also in here. There's a bunch of shock res being distributed amongst these units. So those guys are also shock resistant at some point to some degree. These blocks are shit out of luck. They're probably going to draw all of the fountains, if I had to guess. And that's their job. That's all the preparation we've done to resist lightning, and it's quite a lot. So what do we do to actually deal damage? Well, we've got our god teleporting in, first of all. He's teleporting from Kurgnir. I've recently learned that this script won't work, because this turn's already been submitted, but it's too late. But apparently if you are an innate spellcaster, and you do time stop, you ignore your script, which is not good. But this is how it's scripted anyway. And I'm about to check the turn and see how it turned out. But he's basically scripted to do time stop and then just spam mass metal burn. And that's it. His job is just to do mass AoE damage. He's not even in the communion. Which is probably for the best. Innate casters apparently fatigue communions quite heavily. So that's his job. And then we also have my prophet over here, who is doing the same thing basically. So he needs 200% cast time to get into the communion, then he does time stop, and also spams mass metal burn. Alongside him, we've also got some mages who are doing improved halt foes on turn 1. This is 25% cast time, so it goes off before the fountains, if the fountains are going off immediately. So some paralyze. I'm hoping we paralyze some mages before they cast it. And then, as usual, these guys are going to drop the improved soul sundering spell throughout the script. We've also got the usual kind of assisting spells in there, so one guy's putting enlargement and regen through the communion. Also does Vapor Warriors in the end, because why not? We've got relief going up. We've also got howl going up. And that's it. So there's the script. There's a lot of prep to deal with this spell, but I think it'll be okay. Because all our main mages have shock res. And I'm pretty sure most of the communion slaves will get shock res as well. And even if our units all die, I still think we're quite strong just because of how much mage power we have. I've also stripped every single item off my entire nation and just geared every single mage here out. You can see they're all just carrying all kinds of junk. Yeah. So fingers crossed. I looked at both the summons as well, right? So here's the Mage of Spring. They have Strength of Spring, which is something I suppose. But he's A2 and 1, which is cool. And then the Ghost we got is E3. I think there can be different kinds though. But he's pretty cool. And that's it for this turn. So that was turn 86. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you in a moment when I assume Zatopek storms immediately. So see you then. Hello, welcome back. I have a battle for you in the Fortress in Bonelands. First up, report from Ederal. This is our little stack that was trying to defend against Zoko. Got hit by Beckoning. 17 units were affected and 11 disappeared. Not hugely effective, is it? More Black Death on Zoko's cap. Teleported my god into Bonelands. And then there's some more exchanges with Zoko, Ragdan and Dampdale. So one of these is over by Bonelands, and the other one is still near me. And then I took back Soaked Earth, so I'll look at those on the map in a second. First up though, battle at the Fortress in Bonelands. So here's Zatopek's big army. He's got his god back. He seems well. There's my guys. I'll put this on slow for a bit. You can see, right, so something's happening already. This little effect is the improved protection from shock spell. So you can see some guys putting it on our troops in the front, and some of my communion slaves are starting to get it now. Before that even gets done though, my god immediately casts Time Stop. I'm not sure how he casts that so quickly. I know he's an 8 spellcaster, but damn. So Time Stop is up immediately. You can also see some of my mages doing that paralyze spell on some guys here. Looks like someone actually just died there. So lots of paralyze. There's mass mental burn from my god as well. So he does actually cast it once. That does a ton of damage to his army. But after that he goes off script and just does whatever, unfortunately. Still paralyzing some stuff though. Time Stop is very cool. Just waiting for the fountains to come down there. We're mostly paralyzing troops, which isn't quite what I wanted. My god then, after doing one mass metal burn, does Vapor Warriors, so everyone has Mist Form now. Not sure how useful that is against the fountains, but that's what he chose to cast. Looks like they're doing communion stuff first. So at this point my communion slaves I think are mostly all shock res. Some are missing it unfortunately. There go the fountains. So I'm mostly hitting the block in the front that had no lightning res. And also the wall defenders. Everyone else is pretty much unaffected. This spell does hurt, but our mages were all spread out. Next my Prophet does Time Stop. Yeah, these fountains are not that threatening relative to last time. At this point we have Light of Time Stop, Relief, Owl, and Light of the Northern Star. Zatopek has done his fountains. I think that's all he really has though. There goes my Prophet's mass metal burn. There's another mass metal burn. But at this point it feels like we've killed most of the army, and we've survived the fountains, which is the important thing. As people are running away, one of my mages who had gems puts up Growing Fury. We summon a bunch of skeletons and then we all go berserk and run in. But squares don't help unfortunately because our colours are so similar. But yeah, that went well. So that was the battle at the Fortress in Bonelands. Killed practically everything. Probably shouldn't be cocky though, because I said that last time and then we ran headfirst into a bunch of fountains, so... Yeah, I think we're past the point where Zatopek threatens us now though. I think that was a pretty big loss, and we lost no mages, and that's the important thing. Lost 9 Sacreds, 62 Halberdiers, 19 Falchions, and that's it. My god got 108 kills, well done. So all in all, you know, successful defense. We discovered a hostile mage. A bunch of great events this turn. It's mostly big gold events. Luck, Dominion, Water Gems, 252 gold, 1070 gold, 75 gold, some gems and Ranger's boots, 198 gold, 208 gold. I think we've reached the point where we've patrolled out most of the Lecos, but we still have our global up for like good luck events. So that's what it feels like anyway. Bonelands is still under siege by a commander. A little bit of patrolling. Scout died of disease, and Gondwall has been permanently vanquished. So Farewell to him. Okay, so these parts of the world are just standard as usual. It's everything here gets rammed into this fort, everything here gets rammed into this fort. You can pretty much ignore that, I think, for now. Over here, this is where the first of Zoko's new little stacks appeared. So actually some units with mines this time. Is Minotaur Sacred guys. And I think it's 2 mages plus a gnome, or whatever they're called. Oh, this is his prophet. No, that's quite funny, I didn't realise that. Oh, I understand why he's called Shithead now. Very, very funny, Zoko. Great one. Anyway, so that's Damptail. So that could try and threaten Bonelands, but I don't think so, based on what we just did. And up here is this other stack as well. We got hit by the Beckoning in Edoral. I've assembled this little stack in Soaked Earth. So these are the 2 points where we're going to have to face Zoko at some point, I think. But over here, the plan, all I can do at this point is just break siege, because we're still getting sieged by 1 commander. So anything that's happening here is breaking siege, and then we'll probably have to do something about this stack, and then I'd like to move at this throne. Now that Zatopek's probably out of the game. That's still the plan. We do have to be careful about Satrani taking this throne off us, though, if we move away from it. Although, Satrani looks like he might have his hands full with Zoko, because this throne I was trying to get a look at appears to be under threat by Zoko as well. So, I don't know if Satrani can defend that, but he might try. He does have a giant stack in Icton. And there's his cap. Will he try to defend this? I don't know, but we've got lots of scouts in these provinces to watch what happens, so we'll see how that develops. So we'll break siege here, we'll do something about this, we'll make this army a bit healthier, and then we'll try and get this throne, that'll still be the goal. Also in Aboibia, I'm going to put together a little underwater army to take this final lake. I've got my priest underwater waiting to put a temple up. We've got temples in every single water province we own now, so lots of temples around. We're back on Dominion 13. That's good. Try and get it to 14 next, why not? Now leaves this region. So we're almost at the point where I've got an army together that can walk at Zoko in this part of the world, ultimately to take this. So lots of stuff being assembled. Everything is spread out a lot to dodge that big spell. I think it's Bane Fireball or something. Let me just check. You see a big, this one. So, yeah. AoE 11, 36 damage, armor piercing. Pretty big one. That's what his mage is mostly spamming combat after communioning, I think. So I'm not sure how to mitigate that other than just spraying out and hoping that we kill him before it gets cast a lot. So they're spread out a lot. Units from the front. And at the moment the script is just very basic because it's just to protect against this stack while we just gradually assemble this army. So it's just some communion slaves, a couple of guys doing soul slays or improved soul sunderings, and there's one guy with gems doing vapor warriors as well. Might help against the water rallies. So that's what's happening here. We almost have enough fire rings for everybody. Every mage move into this province has a fire ring, so fires from afar, or whatever it's called. Probably not going to hurt the mages, might hurt the units, but... and I'm still just forging rings. We've almost got a ring for every single mage here. And they can all just walk north, I think. We'll put together as many units as we can. Might send the Cyclops out to join them. I haven't really done much with the Cyclops. Doesn't look like Lilithors is attacking us. Might have got cold feet, given how big this stack now looks on the map, I don't know. That's it for this turn. Once we've finished forging fire rings, we can go back to forging more useful or interesting items. I am doing a lot of site searching in this part of the world because a lot of these provinces are unsearched. I think they might have already been searched by Aboibia, but we're missing out some site searching in this part of the world, so started doing that down here as well. And other than that, I don't think there's any interesting orders. Oh, I am Black Death in Gondwald now. We've hit Zoko like 3 times with Black Death. I might as well just hit high value provinces with it though, I think. So I think Zoko owns Gondwald's cap. I can't even find it now. It's over here. Yeah. So, Rotten Tom with a arcane lens sitting in a Well of Pestilence has 8 range on this, so he can just about hit Gondwald. That's pretty brutal, isn't it? From there to there. Not sure what direction. Oh, this direction, I guess. Yeah, from there to there. Pretty good. I'll just try and hurt Soko's income as much as I can. And pretty much it for this turn, I think. Any other interesting orders? I don't think so. We might try teleporting my god into one of those Zoko stacks next turn. Might be a good way to get rid of it. But that is turn 87 with 2 minutes to go. It looks like Sotrani just submitted his turn as well, because he was partial when I started. We have tons of gold every turn now, by the way. I put the province defense in Cassian up to 50, just to see if that slows down these water rallies. Guess we'll find out. Yep, that was turn 87. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video.